Good morning and welcome to Zoom. My name is Hannah and I'm a senior fitness instructor with Stonebridge Community Services. And today we have a full body strength workout followed by some balance work. This class is going to be about 45-ish minutes. We'll start with a warm-up. We'll do a full body strength routine. We have 8 exercises to do. We do need a set of weights. You can use whatever size of dumbbell feels appropriate to you today. Alternatively, you could use water bottles or evenly weighted objects from around your house, like soup cans, something like that would work really well. We're going to kind of ease back into this class because we've had a week off. And a lot of these exercises are just going to be using our own body weight and not any extra resistance. So we'll only actually use those weights for, I think, one exercise. We'll finish with some balance movements. We want to make sure that we have some kind of support furniture close by when we're working on our balance. We stand close to a wall right here. You could use something similar. You could stand next to a wall. You could use a chair, table, kitchen island, counter, back of the sofa, lots of options. Let's also make sure that we have our water handy because although it is October the 6th, it still feels like summer. And I'm sure some people are very pleased about that. I am not one of them because I am ready for cool weather, but let's soak up the sunshine today because tomorrow it's going to cool down, apparently. I'm not sad about that, but I will enjoy today, knowing that the warm weather is coming to an end. All right, we're going to jump up to feet and we will begin with a warm up and then we will get started here. Go at your own pace, everybody. We're not trying to do a certain number of reps as fast as possible. I'm probably going to count between 8 and 10 repetitions of each exercise. If that's too many and you can manage 4 or 6, that is fine. Work at your own pace. Follow along with me if you can. Don't be afraid to take a break anytime. If I'm not taking a break, although I do take lots of breaks, so don't worry. We'll all be fine together here. Let me see how many people. 9 this morning. That's a good number. All right, let's come up. Let's stand up and we will warm up. A little aggressive with the chair. Let's stand up nice and tall and let's march on the spot. Nice tall chest, shoulders relaxed, and think about those hips facing forwards. Letting those arms swing forwards and backwards. We're going to take a nice deep breath, a big inhale and exhale. Deep breath in and out. Good, reach your hands up and slowly lower down. Good. Let's pull the shoulders up towards our ears. Relax them down. Lift those shoulders and lower. Good. Pull those shoulders up and down. Let's lift and lower. Good. We're going to roll our shoulders. Nice big circles. Good. And let's roll those shoulders forwards. Let's bring those arms out to the side, little circles here. Back in the other direction. Good, relax those arms. So take one hand, push away from your belly and pull. Push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Let's try the other hand, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Both hands push and pull, and again push and pull. One hand up to the ceiling and pull down, up and down, up and down, and again up and down. The other hand up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's take both hands all the way up and down, up and down, and again up and down, and one more up and down. Good. Let's tap those toes forwards, matching those arms too. Let's tap those toes to the sides. Good. Let's dig those heels forwards. And let's dig those heels to the sides. We're going to take one foot. Let's tap our toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel. Once more, toe and heel. Let's switch to the other side. Tap your toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel. Good. Let's bring those feet together. And we will tap our toes, one foot at a time. Let's wiggle our fingers. And let's tap those heels, tap those fingers to your thumb. Good. We're going to tap our feet, both feet at the same time. And let's circle those wrists. Good. Let's circle those wrists the other way, tap those heels. Good. Excellent. Let's begin here. We're going to do a squat. No weights. We're just going to work on that squat by itself. We're going to do a couple of exercises. We'll do 3 and then we'll repeat them all one at a time. It'll be one lower body exercise, one upper body, and then one that's a more core specific. Nothing on the floor today. We'll be standing for everything. So we want to start with our feet hip width apart. Knees nice and soft, standing up tall, and shoulders are relaxed. We're going to inhale, sink down, and exhale, stand up nice and slowly on the way down. Breathing out as you stand. Good. We're going to keep that chest nice and tall. Looking up and ahead. Good. Nice inhale on the way down. Exhale as you stand. 2 more. That's 1. Last one. Good. Excellent. We can pick our weights up now. This is the one exercise where we'll use these weights. We're going to do a bicep curl. So one hand at a time. Again, standing up tall, feet hip width and knees soft. We're going to curl. And one hand. And then the other. Breathing out, lift that hand. Breathing in, lower down. Good. Let's do one more each side. And excellent. Let's pop those weights down. Good. Let's bring ourselves to a wall. We're going to use the wall as a piece of equipment. We're going to use it to have an incline. So I'm going to put my arms out in front of me at about shoulder height. Hands against the wall. I'm going to take a step back so my feet are further away than my head. You can see I'm kind of at an incline here. I want to be looking at a spot in between my hands, not down to the floor or up to the ceiling. We're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. Think about pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Taking nice deep breaths. Good, about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's stand up. You can grab a drink if you want to, and then we'll repeat all 3 of those. Good. Starting with that squat now. We're going to stand up nice and tall. Feet hip width, knees soft, our shoulders are relaxed. We're going to inhale, sink into the squat. Exhale to stand. Good, keeping that chest nice and tall. Good, slowly on the way down. Breathing out as you come up. Good, the weight in your heels. Excellent, let's pause there. Let's pick up the weights. And we're going to do that bicep curl, a weight in each hand, feet hip width, and knees nice and soft, that chest tall. Let's curl with one hand and then the other. We're thinking about lowering that hand down nice and slowly. Good, breathing out as you lift that weight, breathing in as you slowly lower down. Good, couple more. Excellent, let's place these weights down. Good, very good. Let's finish up here with that plank at the wall. So we're standing against the wall, arms at shoulder height. Take that step back. Now I'm at an incline. My hands are still shoulder height. I'm looking at that spot in between my hands. Let's take deep breaths. Pull that belly button in towards your spine, and we'll hold here for 30 seconds. Good, nice deep breaths for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Stand up tall. Excellent. All right, 3 more exercises. We're not using any weights for these. We're just trying to give ourselves a little easier time easing back in. We'll use our weights for just about everything on Wednesday if you come to that class. So we're going to do a hip hinge now. Feet hip width apart, knees nice and soft. I'm going to hold my hands at my chest like this. I'm going to hinge at the hip. So pushing that bump, my bum out behind me, lowering my chest. Straight up to stand. Inhale, lower down. Exhale up. Nice and slowly as you hinge. A little bit quicker as you stand. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Relax those arms. We're going to work our tricep muscle a little bit. So that's the muscle right at the back of your arm. We're going to clasp your hands and lift those hands right up to the ceiling, right above your head. I'm going to bend at the elbow, lower those hands behind my back, and up to center. Inhale and exhale here. Good. Nice and slowly as you lower down. Breathing out as you lift up. Once more. Good. And relax those arms. Excellent. I'm going to hold on to the wall here for some balance support. I'm going to take my left hand up to the ceiling. My left elbow and my right knee are going to come towards each other, like this. So it looks like I'm doing a crunch, but I'm standing. They don't need to touch. They just need to come towards one another. Two more. The last one. Good. Relax that arm nice and slowly. Good. Let's take the right hand up, right elbow to left knee. Holding on for support as much as you need to. Good. Good. Last one. Excellent. Relax that arm. Good. Quick drink and then let's repeat those. So let's stand hip width apart, feet hip width apart. We're doing that hip hinge again. Knees nice and soft. I like to hold my arms across my chest. I'm going to inhale, come forwards. Exhale to stand. Inhale and exhale. Nice and slowly on the way down. A little bit quicker as you stand. Last one. Good. Relax those arms. Excellent. Let's practice that that tricep movement. We're going to link our fingers, reach those hands up above your head. So we're kind of holding our imaginary weight here. We're going to inhale, lower those hands. Exhale to lift. Good. Nice and slowly as you lower those hands down. Exhale as you lift up. Couple more. Good. Relax those arms. We'll practice that standing crunch here. So a hand close to support if you need the balance help here. I'm going to lift my left arm up to the ceiling, left elbow to right knee. Good. Nice and slowly as you reach back up and as you place that foot on the floor. Wobbles. Good. Relax that arm. Let's switch to the other side. Reach right up with the right hand. Good. One more here. Good. Relax that arm. Excellent. We can grab a drink. Alrighty. We have 2 more exercises to do. We're going to start with a lunge. We're standing up nice and tall. We're going to take a step forwards. As you take that step forward, you're going to bend that knee. And that back heel is going to lift. Back knee is going to lower towards the floor. And we'll step back to both feet in line. And then we'll alternate to the other foot. We're going to move nice and slowly. Keep that upper body nice and tall. We're bending our knees just as much as that feels good. That might be a big knee bend. It might be a small knee bend. There's no right or wrong. You're going to do what feels most comfortable for you. Once more. Good. And feet together. We're standing up tall. Good. Next, we're going to have a hand close to that support furniture while we do some heel raises. So push yourself up onto tiptoes. Slowly lower those heels to the floor. Let's keep that chest nice and tall. We're looking forwards, looking up and ahead. We'll do 2 more here. Last one. Good, and relax. And then we're going to try those again. Lunges and heel raises, and then we will move on to work on our balance. So let's stand up nice and tall. We're going to step forwards, bend those knees a little bit or a lot. That is dependent on what feels good for you here. Good, inhale, sink down, exhale to stand. Good, nice deep breaths. Once more each side. Good, and feet together. Excellent. Let's grab hold of that support furniture if we need it and push ourselves up to tiptoe. Excellent. Breathing out as you come up to tiptoe. Breathing in as you lower down. Good. Once more. Excellent. And relax those feet. Good. Grab a drink here. Moving on to work on our balance. Remember that we always want to be within an arm's reach of something to support us. Always use the wall here. And we're going to start with our feet really close to each other, as close as you can, while holding that position. Feet are nice and relaxed, knees are soft. We're going to stand up really tall. Shoulders relaxed and down. We're looking ahead. So we're challenging our balance just a little bit by having those feet really close together, closer than usual. Let's take one hand forwards and one hand behind you. Let's switch those hands around. Good, let's bring those hands back in. Bring those hands out to the side. And let's aeroplane those arms. So one up, one down. This can be a big movement or a small movement. Good, and then relax those arms, excellent. We're going to do a little bit on one leg here. So let's make sure that we're close to that balance support. I'm going to stand on my right foot to begin with and lift my left off the floor. If you don't feel confident lifting your foot all the way off the floor, you can have a toe touching the ground. Just hold where it feels comfortable. The higher you lift that foot, the trickier that will be, the more challenging it will be. So let's hold. It's kind of where that feels. That feels good, but it feels comfortable. Let's stand up. Nice and tall. Be relaxed on that foot that's on the ground. Good. I'm going to turn my head to look to the left. And then to the right. Good. Let's look down to the floor. And up to the ceiling. Good. And let's switch. Let's put that foot on the floor and let's switch to the other side. So now I'm standing on the left. So I'm going to lift my right foot and stand up tall, looking forwards. Good. Let's turn and look to the right. And then to the left. Good. To the ceiling. And down to the floor. Good. And back to center. Excellent. Let's stand with our feet a little wider than hip width. We're going to shift our weight from one foot to the other. So I'm lifting up through my heels, keeping that upper body nice and tall. Good. I'm going to use my hands a little bit. So as I move to the right, I'm going to push my right hand to the side. And same thing the other way. Nice and slowly. Moving our hands is just trying to push more weight into one foot. So that's increasing that little balance challenge. This time I'm going to take my right hand and reach over to my left. So I'm adding a bit of a rotation through that upper body, really pushing my weight into onto one side and then onto the other. Good, you can relax those hands now and let's lift our feet. So we're slowly stepping from one foot to the other. Good, onto the left foot now. Let's raise the right. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto the right foot, raise the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go onto the left foot again. This time reach those hands up in the air if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And feet down. Excellent. Very good. We're going to stand with our feet about hip width here. We're going to do some footwork. So rolling your weight to the front of your feet and onto the back of your feet. So we're lifting up through our heels and toes just a little bit. Small foot movements here. Good. And now we're going to roll our feet from side to side. Excellent. Yes, feels really nice. It almost feels like I'm having a foot massage, rubbing, like pushing my feet into the ground and feeling that nice stretch through my ankles. Could do this for ages. This is probably enough. We can pause there. Good. Let's move around a little bit. We're going to pretend that we are walking on a tightrope. So we're stepping heel to toe, forwards and backwards, chest nice and tall, shoulders relaxed. We're looking ahead. Good. Good steps, heel to toe. Nice and slowly, we're looking forwards. Trying to move in a nice straight line. There we go, I fell off the tightrope. Alrighty, one more to do here. I'm going to stand on my right foot and tap my left heel forwards. I'm going to make sure I'm looking at something that isn't moving. I'm going to focus my eyes there. And then take that heel up off the floor, just a tiny bit. Still looking forward, still focused ahead of me. And reach one hand forwards. And then I'm going to reach the other hand. I'm going to hold like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and feet to the ground. Let's switch to the other side. I'm going to stand on my left foot. Tap that right heel forward. And look ahead. Good, let's take that heel up off the floor. Reach one hand forwards. Nice and relaxed on that foot on the ground. And let's reach the other hand and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Feet to the ground. Excellent. Everybody, it is time for us to stretch. We're going to reach that hand across your body and let's hold here. Feel that nice stretch through your shoulder, through your upper arm. Good, let's relax that arm. Let's switch to the other hand, reach forwards and across your body. Good, relax that arm. Let's take that first hand up to the ceiling, bend to the elbow, hand behind your back. Let's hold that elbow and hinge over to the side. So that arm that's bent is on the top. Good, slowly back to center. Relax those arms, let's switch, reach up, bend at the elbow, hand behind your back. You're gonna use that other hand to stabilize your elbow, hinge to the side. Good, back to center. Relax those arms nice and slowly. We're going to have a seat. Our chair, stretch one leg out, heel, toe to the ceiling. Let's hinge forward at the hip. Feel that nice stretch in the back of your leg. Good, let's switch to the other side. Stretch that leg forward, heel on the floor, toe to the ceiling, and hinge forward. Good, let's sit up. We're gonna sit right back in our chair. Pull one knee in, Let's circle this ankle. Go back in the other direction. You're going to point your toe. And then lift. Point. And lift. Toes to the left. And the right. The left. And the right. Good. Let's switch. Pull that knee in. Circle this ankle. Back in the other direction. Good. Let's point that toe. And lift. Point. And lift. Toes to the left. And the right. Left. And right. Good. Place that foot on the floor. Let's come up to feet. We're going to reach behind us. Reach for the back of the room. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. Wrap those arms around you. Nice. Squeeze the pat on the. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for coming out to this first class of the full session. I'm happy to be back in the full swing of classes. And I hope to see you maybe on Wednesday. Bye for now.
Thanks, Hannah. It was good to be back.
You're welcome. Thanks, David. See you soon.
Oh, class next Monday?
Good question. I was going to talk about that on Wednesday because I forgot to say it at the beginning of the class. There is no class next Monday because it is Thanksgiving. So we already have a short week next week. No class on Monday. You are quite right. I will remind everybody on. Thanks for asking, Robert. You gonna say bye?
You're welcome.